Boom, boom, boom. Stay locked, because we're the bomb.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the Boom Ball right here on your Boom Radio NG. And my name is Dolupo. I bid you a warm welcome to the bar today. It's going to be a very interesting one, as we're going to be talking about a lot of things. There's a lot of gist coming out from the National Assembly. The EFCC, there's also a bit of gist here and there from the EFCC. Also, Nigeria, basically, there's quite a number of things that we're going to also be talking about. So yeah, but sit back, relax, and enjoy today's show, because it's going to be very, very what's the word now? It's going to be very, very full. On that note, so welcome to the what's the word now? To the bar. Bid you a warm welcome, and my name is Dolupo if you're just joining me, and with me in the studio today is Sola Rogers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for joining us at the bar. Let's do this.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about a lot of things today. Like I'd said earlier, there are a few things. First things first. The National Assembly. So there's a lot of gist coming from those people, and you might be wondering why. First things first, the Speaker of the National Assembly has decided to step down the bill that was talking about people not willingly reciting or singing the national anthem.
You know, I'm sorry, guys. This is one of the craziest things I've heard in recent times, and I wonder who advises these politicians. Why would you criminalize not singing the national anthem? The national anthem does not give us food. It does not enhance our lifestyle in any way. These are traditions and things that are more or less even foreign to us. You know, you're not criminalizing other things that could actually turn the lives of the average Nigerian around, but it has to be national anthem. The first time I heard that thing, I felt it was impossible. So whoever brought out the story, I said they were being sensational until, you know, the buzz kept picking up, and I'm like, wow, the Speaker of the House is saying that if you don't sing national anthem, they will arrest you.
Apparently, that was the thing.
The America that we like to copy a lot, you know, we copy presidential system of governance from them, and other things that we copied from them. Realize that in recent times, there have been one or two people who have refused in public, you know, to sing the anthem. This footballer, you know, I've forgotten his name, the Afro guy, even went as far as taking a knee, and that virtually ended the guy's career.
Yeah.
You know, while a lot of people agree with his cause, his decision to openly disregard the national anthem might have cost him his entire career as we speak. Mm-hmm. But I didn't hear talks of him being arrested or whatever. I don't know how it's become a criminal offense. You know, for me, to be very, very honest, I'll probably be one of the people that will arrest. While we had the old, now former national anthem, maybe for some defiant reason, this particular one that I just brought back is what I used to sing, because I knew the first stanza. Do you understand? But guess what? There's a stanza 2 and 3 that I'm not sure I will ever know. I'm not sure I want to even start learning it at my age. So we'll probably be at an event, and I will keep quiet because I don't know it. And it can be taken as defiance. Do you understand? And you lock me up for not singing national. I think it's one of the dumbest things any politician has ever considered in recent times.
So I think
especially
that
with the way things have been.
one of the issues with it is that some people are singing the old one, and I think that's one of the issues. Now, honestly, if you ask me, I would probably not be at an event and sing the old one. However, it's the old one I know. I don't know this new one. I just always heard that it was, or the old new one. I just always knew that there was a former anthem. Now people are singing it. Not even out of defiance. I don't know it. I'm not sure I've had time to sit down to learn it. Over the years, I'm sure it's something that for someone like I'll probably catch up with it. Not like I've not gone out of my way to look for it or whatever it is. However, the problem that I see with it is that I think that, yes, are some people intentionally singing the old one. I remember it was one of the I think this happened was during the protest. Was it last week or the week before at Ojota, where people had sang the old one, or the old new one, or the new old one, whichever one, the Arise O Compatriots. Now, why I think that everybody is just moving mad at this point is, number one, I don't see the sense in criminalizing it. Everybody has freedom of speech and freedom of expression, one. Two, even the people that choose to sing the Arise O Compatriots and all that, the honest truth is, whether you sing it from now till tomorrow, it's not going to change the fact that when you are at formal events, when you are at events that are with Nigeria, they're not going to sing it. It's not going to change. They're not going to go to how do I say it now? You will not go abroad and maybe, like, take for example at the Olympics, or maybe there's an international event and there is a need to sing Nigerian anthem. They're not going to sing Arise O Compatriots. We need to actually move on from the fact that it's going to happen. It is not going to happen, and that's the truth. It is what it is. Whether we like it or not, we should move on with the times. However, criminalizing it at the same time does not make any sense. There is already a law. Take for example now, someone says, the IPOP people, I know that they claim that there is a Biafran currency or not. Whether you spend the Biafran currency, whether you don't spend the Biafran currency, the honest truth is that there is a Naira that is legal tender. If you go to the market and you do not carry Naira, that is a legal tender, except in some elitist places. You go to the market now and you say you want to carry dollar that everybody knows. The market woman will probably collect it from you. However, you won't get the value for your money that you're carrying. It's not something that we do in Nigeria.
You might.
That's why I said in some places. Some places that which now I think that is even a criminal offense anyway. However, yes, if that's what I'm saying, that as popular as everybody knows what the dollar is, in regular places, you would not even get the actual value for your money. Do you understand? For whatever it is you want to buy. So that's where I'm going, like, whether people decide to be moving mad or not, it doesn't change what it is. We need to move on. As much as we didn't like the fact that it was changed, I didn't like it because I'm like, not like I felt there was something bad about it though. But, or more like the excuse they gave for it wasn't unnecessary to me. But the fact that it has happened, we all need to move on. National Assembly and citizens alike. We need to move.
Anyways, there might be elements of this proposed bill, according to the speaker, where he was referencing some other countries and how, they had done it and it's all of this and that. But those countries did not enforce people to sing the anthem or criminalize anybody's refusal to sing it.
Yeah, it's just, that's why I said everybody needs to move on from this national anthem thing. It has happened. If another president comes and wants to change it and another National Assembly agrees, good luck. However, it seems like the political class, what's it called now? And maybe is one thing that I've seen both opposition and the party in government seem to agree on. Most of them seem to agree on it. So it doesn't look like it's changing anytime soon. So we'll see. But for the moment, everybody needs to move on. Now, moving on from that, still talking about the National Assembly. Now, there's been a lot of drama after the statement that the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, had said that the National Assembly fixes fixes salaries by themselves. Now, the RMAFC, that's I can't remember what they're called. I know there's something fiscal, something in their matter. Anyway, they've come to say that senators make about ₦1 million per month, which they did a breakdown of. However, a former senator had said that he was making about 13.5 million naira monthly when he was a senator. A sitting senator has now said that, they make about 1 million naira, but there's a running grant and their take home every month is about 21 million naira per month. However, that it is not arbitrary and that they do not fix salaries. Also, he now moved on to now allege that the former president was the one that introduced corruption into the National Assembly, saying that he has evidence alluding to the fact that the former president wanted to try to bribe and corrupt some National Assembly members to involve a third term into the Constitution.
Has he responded?
No.
I mean, the former president.
No. No.
You see, it's because they know that a lot of Nigerians have very short memories that they come out and speak at all. Then some of them will come out because they know that you haven't found your voices and that they have weakened you with a lot of policies and suffering that you can't even talk.
The next thing you just want to do is just find food and
you just want to eat, you know. So they use this style, you know, to manage perception also in a way that when you see something going wrong, you're so tired. You know what? Let's just let them do what they're doing. Honestly, former President Obasanjo has been talking too much. I respect his old age and all of that, but I always feel saddened by people who were in power
who didn't really
and they
change
did not,
the system.
They didn't do the things that they are now talking about.
Oh God, that's it. Everybody sees
You had 8 years as a civilian president. The most powerful civilian president Nigeria will ever have is former President Obasanjo, because he came in as a military man and operated as one.
Oh yeah.
And the facts are there. So this is a man who was a military ruler in the 70s and a civilian ruler, not president. Yeah, in the 90s, straight up into the early 2000s. And you did not do these things. And you would now pick Biro every time. You'll be writing letter, open letter, open letter. I'm not really impressed with the man. And, you know, so now the idea is to castigate people, chastise them.
And I think he started that really with after PDP led power. Yeah. He really did a lot of that.
Write letter for Africa.
That's it for me. Like sometimes some of the things he says are not, but he who must come with equity must come with clean hands.
Do you think that a Barack Obama was actually comfortable with everything that Biden was doing?
No.
But he won't come out to criticize him openly now. You don't understand. It would reach out. They have the channels and it's open. There's no way an Obasanjo wants to see a Tinubu today that he won't be able to see him. He could have seen Jonathan anytime he wanted, seen Buhari anytime. You understand? But no, it's to write it to public and play to the gallery. And all of that.
I think that the man knows what he's doing.
But without losing sight and losing focus of the whole issue of the remunerations of these people, it's time to put it to bed once and for all. I know we've seen some official stats and everything. If there are any hidden figures as to what these people are getting, It would be nice for us to find out. You understand? And question it. And try to find out why it is so and why it shouldn't be anymore. Nigerians are going through a lot. Nigeria needs to tighten its belt, and it's been tightened out. In fact, the belt has been around people's necks. That's how bad it is, and man, we did choke. So everybody feels that it is immoral, actually, for politicians to pay themselves so much and pay the people so little. So what are the policies that they are going to deploy to rejig the economy and allow money flow in and allow create jobs, and also provide the basic, necessities of life, the amenities that we need to live a good life within the confines of our country. I saw a video of King Wasiu and the Marshall in Canada a few hours ago, and in that hall, massive indoor hall, he's singing, and he knows this person. He mentions this one's name. The lady sitting down, the guy walking up to him with the high fives and everything. I'm like, who can't remain for Nigeria when all the people were there?
We're a lot. We are a lot.
But that's the answer. We're a lot.
Oh, we're a lot.
The truth is, a lot of people might have left, but the bulk of us are here.
Oh yeah, there's still a lot of people.
And all we're asking for is a country that works.
It's interesting. So still talking about that. We're going to go there a little bit, but before we leave the issue of the National Assembly, Bauchi Emirate has now withdrawn a title from its senator, the senator of, I think, Bauchi South, because the man had criticized Governor Bala Mohammed.
Is Governor Bala Mohammed the emir of the place?
No. The emir said that this was concerning the senator's remarks about Governor Mohammed, saying that it was insulting and disrespectful, saying the council determined that these comments violated the culture and traditions of the Emirate Council.
Okay, interesting. This is why a few years after you will hear that a traditional ruler has been deposed.
Yeah.
I think that while we advocate for the traditional institution to be revered and left alone, they too should respect themselves and not dabble into politics.
I think that is possible.
Because this is sounding like a very political thing.
Are you sure that it is not the governor
that's instigating it?
That is instigating that, it actually does not make sense. So apparently the senator had gone off on the governor. Why? Because Governor Bala Mohammed had criticized President Bola Tinubu about his policies. Now the senator is now saying that had said that the governor had enacted very poor policies that had increased the poverty in the state, and he was calling for accountability regarding the federal resources that was allocated to the state.
Okay, so the senator is definitely not PDP then?
No, he's APC.
Okay.
He had listed palliative items, rice, fertilizers that he had alleged that the governor had failed to distribute to the people. Now, my question is, people that removed the title, does this title come with money? Because if it doesn't, I don't understand.
So again, how virtually everybody loves awards and titles.
Okay, that one's Sha.
And it's a thing of pride for a lot of people, especially when there's some kind of historical attachment also and connotations to your position you get. And the way we're wired, especially in Africa, we seem to revel in titles and all these positions and stuff. You find out that you're addressed a certain way and people address you in a certain way, even if you're far from whatever they are calling you, So it's a part of us. It's a part of our culture and our tradition. So beyond maybe you're going to make money off it, apart from being a traditional ruler that will be on some kind of salary with the new enhanced local governments. They've always been anyway, but now more money. Apart from that, it just basically typifies, that at times it's a status thing.
Okay. So we'll see how it goes, sharp. They shall remove the man from his chieftaincy title.
And that's what I'm saying. When the man now contests for
governor, and then he
and
now
wins now,
removes you.
who do you think
like
is going
Jiga?
to remove first?
You don't remember that the governor is only there for 8 years. However, he too is probably trying to be careful because at the moment, the current governor can actually take him out.
It's second term now. The current governor is on his second term.
But he can still take him out now.
That's what I'm saying now, that this current governor is on second term. If he's doing it willingly, the current governor will leave. If he's not doing it willingly, the current governor will leave in 3 years' time. So he could have actually stood his ground and said, nope, I'm not going to get involved.
If he doesn't get involved,
it's even better.
And they remove him, what's the guarantee that the person coming after would reinstate him?
That's what I'm saying now, that it's still better.
It's between the...
It's still better.
What did they say? The lion and the deep blue sea or something funny like that. It's,
lion call.
Tiger. Anyway, I honestly think that these kings, with the way...
I think it's elephant.
Is it elephant?
No, come on.
I don't know. What is it?
I'm just playing with you.
Am I correct?
It's the ocean and the deep blue sea. They are both deep and dangerous.
Oh, really? Anyway, I think that with the way our constitution is structured at the moment, these kings are in a very, very precarious situation. So we'll see what that goes. But I think that as much as possible, we really honestly should find a way to remove politics from our traditional institutions. Now, moving on from that, let's talk about a bit of gist talking about Nigeria. So yesterday, President Tinubu jetted to Equatorial Guinea. And today, he has now signed an agreement on the Gulf of Guinea gas pipeline.
Yeah, with all the crises and things that's happening in and around Nigeria, you're wondering, okay, why would the president leave? You get, it must be very important. Mm-hmm. And apparently it is. Over and over again, Nigeria, has realized that she needs to show up her income.
Oh, yeah,
beyond oil. And oil and gas go side by side. And it's also statistically proven, it's a factual statement, that we have more gas than we do oil. And we're looking at running pipelines to the northern part of Africa. There are issues somewhere along the line. You need to smooth in all of that. There's the AFCTA free trade zone, Africa free trade zone movement that, of course, is going to be some kind of money spinner.
Yeah.
If you key into it and key into it properly. So you look at all of those things and say, okay, now I know why you went there. You get that this is about business. This is about income.
It is business. And over time, we need to not... It can't just be they're making some money and giving people palliatives. Mm-mm. The whole system has to change.
Yeah. This is about business. This is something that, again, I have also learned through the years, to temper my excitement. Because one thing is to envision something. The next thing is to enact a law or sign an agreement. But it is in the doing. It is in the doing. When you look at some things that we're celebrating today or we're arguing about, you'll find out that some of those things were planned decades ago. You know?
Yeah, I agree.
So this movement to Equatorial Guinea, right, is a very good thing for Nigeria and Equatorial Guinea. But I want to see how they're going to move fast on it.
Yeah. Now, moving on from that, interestingly, I would say this is good news. Yeah. For the first time in 19 months, Nigeria's inflation rate has actually dropped. So last month, we're here to talk about how the inflation rate was about 34.19%. Now, this month, it has dropped to 33.4%.
The last time there was some kind of drop was in 2022. And honestly, this is fantastic. Last time there was some kind of... Sorry, I wanted to monitor briefly. Let me turn it off. You know, this is fantastic. I'd like to apologize for that. This is a welcome development. Again, last month, when these figures were released for the previous month, it just kept on showing the same trend. It was almost like it's normal now that every month...
However, there was a trend that a lot of people didn't notice for like about 2 months. So it increased, but the rate of increase wasn't as much.
Yeah, it was kind of nominal, like, okay, yeah. But you see, at the end of the day, the bottom line is it increased.
Yeah.
And an increment is an increment, especially since it's statistics. So everybody has come to realize that some things are just inevitable. For instance, rain tax and inflation. Then the NPC.
Yeah.
You get, they come out, they're increasing.
They were always increasing.
Or they're maintaining an increase.
And they were
but
saying
it's never
that
going
it
down.
was always because they wanted the inflation to go down.
So it's looking like maybe it's bearing fruit. And again, cautiously again, I would say let's watch next month and the following month.
Yes.
Also bearing in mind that now some things have been put in place beyond all the CBN policies and things that they are doing, more about the area of food security and the cost of living. Seeing that now the harvest is coming in for last year's dry season farming and other things, and cost of food is going down.
Yes, you know, that's what I wanted to say.
The funny thing is the things that they ascribed to the cost of increment in food have not gone down. They've rather gone up.
So, but one thing I wanted to say was that, you know, when you hear all these figures, everybody seems to have something to say about it, and then we just hear these figures and we see the increase. However, if you go to the market, especially with some perishable things like pepper, like grains, with things like pepper, there is a marked reduction. So for you to now tell me now that, oh, inflation reduced, it makes sense.
But guess what? The figures we're looking at are for the month
and for July,
when things were still high.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Do you
but
get?
However, if you tell me that inflation dropped, it makes sense now, because I'm like, okay, there was a drastic drop in pepper. When you see things like grains, there might not have been a drastic drop, but there was not an increase.
Okay, so
in a few things. It was almost like the things that did not drop are on a steady price.
Yeah, so again, over and over again, when the prices were going up, especially of food stuff, perishables and all whatnot, what were the excuses? One of the things that people were talking about was insecurity. Oh, the farmers were not able to go to the farm, and that's why things are expensive. 2, the cost of transportation. 3, the tolls being paid, illegal and legal, from bringing the food stuff from the north and other parts of Nigeria, majorly to the southern part, especially Lagos and other major cities. In the southeast, in the south, southwest. Have those things changed? And the reason why I'm trying to punch a hole in everything that they used to tell us why food went up. Oh, yam is now 12,000 naira a tuber. I'm like, for real? For a tuber of yam? They say, yeah, 12,000, 13,000 for one. And now you're hearing that it's 2K in some places.
Yeah, it's 4K, 5K.
You know, there's a lady that said a driver went out of town and bought 12 tubers of yam for 12,000 naira. Meaning that it was 1,000 naira per tuber, wherever the guy bought it from. What I'm trying to say in essence is that at the end of the day, no matter what anybody says, a lot of this inflation are by the traders, by the market women and the middlemen.
Yeah, because at times then you wonder, like, okay, even though these things are expensive, the sharp increase, it's like, okay, what happened here? That you see that even traders will tell you that they can't buy it. And then by the time it drops, it just drops suddenly. Like, I'm like, okay, those things should be like.
Yeah, we also know about demand and supply. But these ones defy the old logic of demand and supply.
Nigeria.
So one moment you're buying a basket of tomatoes for over 100,000 naira, and now it's less than 30,000 naira. Abi?
Yeah.
So how do you explain that? To me, it's just us basically being wicked to each other, because I'm not saying that people should not make money. It's a capitalist situation, but again, shouldn't we just temper it? You know, look at how some big businessmen will come and tell you, you know what, we're slashing the price of this item or that item. Another thing that's going to augur well on the long run is the new price regime, or lack of a price actually, for imported food, which would run from now till December.
We'll still start seeing
that. Should also help in cutting down the cost. The cost,
yeah. So it's hopefully the next couple of months till the end of the year, there should be an increased. We hope, if it doesn't, because Nigerian system can defy anything.
Yeah.
We hope to see continued reduction in the inflation.
Yeah, and another thing that will pay off, maybe not this year, but early next year eventually, and all through next year, is that it's glaring that the farms are busier now. There are more people actually going to the farms. It is actually been reported also that the government has deployed the military to a lot of trouble spots where people are farming, to protect the farmers and ensure that they are safe going and coming from their homes to the farms and back. You get, so obviously that will also help with some kind of security. So there are more plans. They are planning to farm 10 million hectares of farmland and everything. Hopefully these things are done and we would feel it, but it won't be immediate.
But we'll see. We'll definitely see how it goes. However, the Minister of Solid Minerals, Dele Alake, has said that there is an impending forensic audit into the mining sector as plans to. So everybody seems to be wanting to be auditing something.
Yeah, again, it's also important to establish those things so you know where exactly you are. There's a lot of things that will be done based on assumptions, and we can't do that anymore in 2024.
Yeah, let's know.
And Solid Minerals, with the reports of how blessed Nigeria is across board, virtually every state in Nigeria has some kind of cash cow that they are sitting on. If it's done properly, that should relieve all
we really should be fine.
The pressure on oil.
Okay, now quickly before we move on from the issue of Nigeria's gist as a whole and move on to other gist, the National Judicial Council has now recommended Justice Kudirat Motomori. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that properly.
When I saw that name, I said Motomori or something. That's what came to my mind.
No, because there's an N there. Motomori.
Okay.
I don't know. You know what? Justice Kudirat.
What you said doesn't sound like Yoruba.
It doesn't sound like Yoruba, so I'm just going to move on.
I'll stick with my Motomori.
If you said Motomori, then that N is
I will stick with it.
No, that is not
Motomori
wrong.
sounds like maybe it's something from East Africa or so. But carry on.
Anyway, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun has been recommended to President Bola Tinubu as the next Chief Justice of Nigeria. Why? Because the current Chief Justice, Olukayode Ariwola, GCON, is set to retire by next week, Thursday, 22nd August 2022, as he has attained his mandatory retirement age of 70.
Yes, it's got 7 days to go. And so this meeting is timely. I think they met for 2 days, yesterday and today. And it's definitely good to have some kind of structure that allows for a smooth handover to the next most senior judicial officer, which happens to be Justice Kekere Ekun. And the beauty of it is that there will be no lacuna.
Yes, interestingly, but I see this recommendation brewing some issues again.
Okay.
Why I said so is that she's the most senior, so automatically she will be the one that will be there. First things first, I think that is fantastic. I'm not sure
I think she's the second woman to.
Yes, I'm not sure I've ever witnessed a woman in Nigeria personally as being the Chief Justice of Nigeria. I think that that's a beautiful attainment. I think that for judges and lawyers, young judges and lawyers that are just coming up, that is such a beautiful, role model to look up to. Now, when it comes to, we know that in Nigeria, we seem to politicize a lot of things.
Or everything.
Let me say everything, most things.
Mm-hmm.
Justice Kekere Ekun is from Lagos State.
Okay.
We know that, or don't let me say we know. Why I said that is probably going to brew some conversation. It's not like it's going to change anything. I don't think it's going to change anything because there's a hierarchy and it is what it is. The thing is that are people just going to take it as it is and people will just not have something to talk about? I think that it might actually, especially in the media, people would want to have conversations around it. Let's just put it like that.
It's two or three things. One, if everybody was aware of the succession plan and the system, there should be no discussion around it. Two, if you were the opposition, whether you are aware or not, you will play it up because you know a lot of people are not aware. And you will use it to more or less talk about nepotism and favoritism and all sorts of things. Oh, it's because she's from...
Yeah.
It's politics to them. Do you understand? And three, if you were the person who is in charge and this is the system, would you deprive someone because some people will complain? So every time they notice that, you think they won't use you and just be complaining because they know you don't want them to complain.
Yeah.
You know, so again, as simple as it sounds, it's a tough one. And normally a real leader will stick to his guns and say, okay.
Yeah, she's been recommended to the president now. And,
and a couple of other people too at the state level.
Other states.
In Benue, in Kaduna, Kwara,
and all that. So moving on from that, let's go on as there's gist from the EFCC. First things first, the EFCC has now detained Hajj Commission chairman and their secretary. They recovered about 131 million naira over the fact that President Tinubu had given a 90 billion naira subsidy to Hajj pilgrims, and the EFCC is saying that there is some mismanagement of that money. Why are you laughing?
I'm not laughing. I'm just clearing my throat.
Yeah, right.
There's a large chunk of people who believe that government should not be funding Hajj or
I think so too.
any
or
pilgrimage.
Not subsidizing anything.
Or subsidizing it. But there's actually a lot of people who believe, it's the system, is what Nigeria has done through the years.
Wrong.
And, we're very religious people and all of that.
I thought we're a secular
now,
nation.
Nigeria has not matured to the point where any president has the lever to stop that subsidy. But now, there is more or less like, let the money get to the people.
This is probably a reason why they should actually stop it.
So notice a trend. And the trend is that people will clamor for things. Or government notices the need for a palliative or a subsidy. But does it ever really get to the people who it's meant for? Or is it just all about people just greasing some palms? So now this is looking like another big one. And remember that even the people who are supposed to stop corruption, their Ogatu was arrested for corruption one time. Yeah. So at that point, you ask yourself, who do you turn to? Mm-hmm. So it's until we build institutions and we have people who are willing to do their jobs. It's the same thing I want to hear about local government very soon.
Yeah.
That monies were given. For instance, very active on Twitter is the chairman of Koshofe local government, Moyo Ogulewe.
Yeah.
And he's posting everything that he's done, the roads that they are constructing, schools and everything. And a media house has gone to one of his tweets and posted the monies that the Koshofe local government has gotten since January. 1 point something billion, 1 point something billion, 1 point something billion. You get, this is the accountability that we want. God bless that media house. I think it's Cable or someone that did that. It's now on him to justify that, yes, this money, this is how we spent it. But people must realize one peculiar thing about Lagos. There are 20 local governments, but there are actually 57 off record.
Yeah.
Which means that for a Koshofe local government now, there are at least 2 LCDAs attached to him that they must share that money. You understand? They're not going to starve them of funds. But regardless, the idea is that let the funds that were released be spent for what they were.
Properly. Exactly. So now the issue with it for me is, number one, when it comes to Hajj or Jerusalem pilgrimage or anything like that, I will still go on to say that if you're going to do it for some people, then maybe there is some pilgrimage that some traditional people want to go on. Why are you not funding? There are commissions, literally agencies that fund this thing. It is not food, clothing, or shelter.
So they're not necessities.
It is not a necessity. It is the fact that people are stealing these monies or allegedly stealing this money is enough to take them off completely. It's obvious that it's not needed. Anybody that wants to go to Jerusalem, anybody that wants to go to Mecca should do it. It's not okay as much as take for example now. It's not a compulsory thing. It's not even a rule or a law or anything in the Christian. In fact, to me, going to Jerusalem as a Christian, you are just going on holiday. For the Muslims, is one of the tenets of their religion. However, it is if you can afford it. It is still not by force. So, if you cannot afford it, we should not use everybody's commonwealth to fund some people's wishes. We need to be able to decipher between needs and wants. You want to go to Jerusalem. You want to go to Mecca. It's not a need. The minute this is already enough. Those things need to be dismantled. It's ridiculous. That's where I see it, Sha. So anyway, still talking about the EFCC. The EFCC NELFUND got 50 billion naira from the EFCC. However, the president had earlier ordered that some of
NELFUND?
The National Education Loan Fund, the student loan that President Tinubu inaugurated. So basically what they're saying is that the president had ordered the EFCC that some of the monies gotten from crime proceeds, instead of just it going back to the federal government, those monies should be going to NELFUND. Also, some of the monies also went to Credit Corp and all that. So basically, it's almost going to be like a constant funding vehicle for these people. Now, interestingly, I saw so NELFUND CEO and management went to say hello to the EFCC chairman in his office, and there is a statement where I watched a video where the EFCC chairman was thanking them for the courtesy visit, and also said that, however, as much as these monies were gotten from crime proceeds and they were pulled back into the system, they would also now be monitoring that this money is disbursed properly.
Yeah. Again, like I was trying to say earlier and try to establish that we need to also realize that regardless of whatever funds that are put out, whatever systems are put in place, it should get to the source. Like the man that, the Pilgrims Board person that is now being arrested and is being investigated and all of that. The issue that I have is the language that was used for that thing, like EFCC donates. The EFCC does not have the right or the power to donate funds because those funds do not belong to them. And of course, it is a known fact, but some people might not know that the EFCC maintains some kind of account with the CBN. You know, especially when they retrieve, they also get to retrieve cash.
Oh, they retrieve cash.
They arrest people. They have, in fact, there's properties that if they really put it out now, so if some of us will go see house buy when we go to cost like that, hopefully. You know, so I think it's a smart idea by the president. Looking at how, for instance, Daddy Abacha has been blessing Nigeria since he died. There's always one country somewhere that says, come and take your 100 million.
Money.
But some of the monies that were repatriated to Nigeria came with a caveat. Use them for certain projects. So I like the old concept because it sounds similar to what the president has said now with these funds. Credit Core is going to make it easy for people to buy things on credit and not use their entire salary.
Salaries, yeah.
Student loan allows students to go to school indigent or otherwise, but at least without putting pressure on their parents or themselves. So this is a beautiful thing. And the sad part is that it's going to be a continuous because crime goes still there.
Crime goes still
and
there.
EFCC go still catch people.
Collect money. So that one is sure. Anyways, Nance, that's the National Association of Nigerian Students has commended the EFCC for doing so, and they are calling on other government agencies.
Yeah, Nance needs to understand that EFCC did not do so. They were instructed by the president to do so. So you can't call on other agencies to now be taking money for that is because they work on a budget.
Take it. You know? See how
so
EFCC.
The only people that Nance should be calling on now is the Yahoo boys and all the criminal people that keep it up.
Keep it up.
So that EFCC can catch you and repatriate the funds. You know, to the owners, and the one will remain on top. Let them divert it to the student loan credit core and every other program.
Other program. Now, the NNPCL has now uncovered 63 illegal refineries.
A lot of people always say, "Oh, why don't they leave the refineries? So that you can bring?" No, they can't, because a lot of those refineries are not proper refineries.
No, they're not.
And trust me, some of that bad fuel finds its way into your market.
Yeah.
If they're not exporting it, they're bringing it into the market locally, and messes up your vehicles, messes up your generators. But they don't care because it's crude,
money.
it's crude that is stolen, and the whole process of refining is crude. Also, you know, it's a crude process of refining crude, and it's just a win-win for the criminals until they are caught or busted.
Now moving on from that, talking about criminals, interesting criminals. As police have arrested 2 people in Kano. And you'll be wondering, okay, they arrest people here, and I think that they were linked to the protest that happened. That was still, I think, last week. Now, the interesting part with this particular one is the fact that these people stole a signpost of a police station.
Yeah, amazing.
What were you thinking?
I remember this movie, A Thin Line Between Love and Hate. The what's his name now? Oh, this very popular American actor, the one that's always acting with Will Smith,
Martin Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence, was supposed to be dating some rich black lady, very rich lady. Then he decided to pull out of the relationship, and she started showing him pepper. She was rich, so she was spending money on him, and there's a part where his car was actually vandalized, and the part there is in front of a police station. Oh my! Like, you think like it's the safest place. But now this one's took it a step higher. It's not in front. Smack dab inside. They went by the entrance and jacked the signpost of the police station and took it.
I have a question.
I'm not answering any question.
Wait, sorry.
We're not taking questions on that.
Yes, we are.
I am not.
What in the world do you want to use a police station's post that says Nigeria Police Force something Kano Police Command? What do you want to use it for?
It's a lot of things, actually.
Make it make sense.
For one, you can actually paint over it and use it for another business.
Okay, Sha, that was FD. That was FD.
True. You can keep it as some kind of relic and some kind of souvenir. I said, during that protest, Dolupo
this was excuse you.
You just said I took it now.
No.
So I'm following your lead.
No, please don't be using my name for such.
Why did you say I took it?
No, it wasn't me. I was referring to myself.
But those were your exact words.
No.
So change it now. Change it because I'm quoting you.
No, don't quote me.
Okay, so Dolupo took the sign.
See,
and
you are looking for my trouble. You are looking for my trouble.
That you are carrying police sign.
I don't live in Kano. Never been to Kano.
Liar.
I don't know what happens in Kano.
Liar.
Yeah.
It's on national TV or international TV. You just said you took police.
No, I did not. I was not referring to myself.
But you said you took it.
I was not referring to. No.
So anyhow, this could have been the reason. Again, a lot of youthful exuberance, a lot of what's it called now?
Youthful exuberance.
Adrenaline, and there's this charged air, and everybody's just going to go crazy.
This is just being
It's
daft.
mob action.
It's
you cannot rationalize mob action. But I've given you one or two or three reasons.
It's just being daft.
But right now, the police have arrested them, Sha.
You not get.
Meanwhile, they already made the police to go and make a new sign. So if they retrieve this one like they have done, maybe they will go and put it at the back or somewhere, or at the junction of the street.
So see, this is the reason why I say that when you want to do something, what's what we are told is what we will.
Criminal minded.
No.
Your interview is coming up.
Wait.
As requested by BT.
Wait, hold on. If you want to do anything, shouldn't you think about it? Like, okay, say two people are fighting. Let me tell you the reason why most of the time I don't like fighting is because when they now ask like, okay, what caused the fight? It has to be something that makes sense, or else I will feel very embarrassed.
Sense is relative. What makes sense to you might not make sense to me.
Okay, Sha, that one's FD. I'm talking about sense and stuff that we talked about. Was it on Monday about the mommy and daddy that were fighting, and the mommy tore up her husband's passport. Apparently she's been arrested and she's been moved to Abuja. Now the man made a video yesterday saying that they were making a skit,
which makes him culpable, though. That means he's an accomplice to a crime, and they should look at him too. However, he's also made that video and claimed that, oh man, she didn't tear his passport, she didn't destroy his passport. It was some other thing that she destroyed. And while he was making that video, he had his children with him, pleading to people to back off and telling government that they should kindly let his wife go. I put kindly there. I didn't hear him say that. And I said to myself, isn't this a good time to bring out the passport that she didn't tear?
Yeah.
You made this video. All of this talk that you are talking. You just see, this is the passport. She didn't tear it. He thinks that he's helping her. But the more they make these kind of videos, the more pressure they are piling on the authorities.
However, I also think that we are getting to a point where I know that everybody is social media, this clicks, and everybody wants to make money and content creation. But it's almost like the need to want to go viral, the need to want to make money off social media is making people lose their senses.
Yeah. Of course, you've seen it now.
That's what I'm saying.
Someone
shouldn't you
someone-
sit in your
someone-
idea and have sense?
someone drowned in the river Niger, a Nigerian actor, and some Nigerian guy starts to come up with different stories of how the actor's wife and the person's distant friend were dating and blah 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 blah. And when they now invite you to, well, you have evidence. You said because the first time you did it, you got a lot of views. You decided to come up with.
Do you get like?
I stumbled on some channels on YouTube at times, and it's a few minutes before we came live. Now
Very cringeworthy.
One popped up, and I looked at it, 500,000 views.
Very cringeworthy.
And it's a year. The video is a year old, and that thing that they said happened, that actually never happened. Nigerian blogs, oh, and I'm so angry. I'm like, look at us here. We're doing facts and figures. Apparently, we'll get there. So, anytime there's a way to actually deal with people who like to spread fake news,
and be silly
just for clicks and clout, I think they should be dealt with.
I definitely think so. Sadly, in Jigawa, there's been a flood. The flood that happened in Jigawa has now gotten about 16 people killed, almost 4,000 people displaced, and about 2,744 hectares of farmland submerged.
I was talking about how, there's going to be more food. This is a big blow.
Yeah.
Sadly, people have died. So first things first, as human beings, we must feel that and pray for the repose of their souls, and also grant that God grants their family, the succor to bear this loss. Again, when you start hearing about floods in Jigawa, the southern part of Nigeria should brace themselves.
Yeah,
because that's how it starts. It just comes down like that.
Down.
But I'm praying that we can actually come up with a national flood plan. If it requires creating man-made lakes and rivers and more dams and reservoirs and everything, I think we need to do something, because it's nature. I know water will find its level. I know, but there are things that you can
get
do.
ready for it. I totally agree with you. Now, talking about that quickly, WHO has now declared Mpox, what people know as monkeypox, a global public health emergency. Again, this is the second time they're doing it in the past 2 years, and it is actually prevalent in Africa. Again. So I just wanted to put it out there that people please need to be careful. At this point, people need to be careful the things they share with other people, especially people that you do not know. Even your body parts. Just be careful.
Can you please elaborate on the body parts that are being shared?
I don't know. Any body parts that you think that you want to share with another person that you are not sure of, you should really be careful. Just put it in. That's all I have to say.
So body parts are being shared?
Apparently.
Wow. Maybe you tell us more.
No, I'm not telling you more. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
That's all. Moving on.
I tried, guys.
No, that's it. Airports in Germany have suspended flights as climate activists are also blocking runways.
Climate activists will go into the museums and destroy valuables, go to destroy things, all in the name of... I saw one dumb one the other day, went and glued herself to...
Oh yeah, the one I saw that had to cut off her hand and all that. I was like, these people don't have brains. Interestingly, I saw a video yesterday. Someone was talking about an environmentalist, very interesting, and how he goes about, I think, planting trees. Like he planted, I think 2,000 something trees in 24 hours, and how the person that posted it was commending him that this is what an environmentalist should do. Yeah. Instead of engaging so much and doing all sorts of destroying things.
Disruption. And
do the work.
You're fighting for your so-called rights by depriving other people of theirs. Similar to that is that this couple that virtually turned a desert into a forest and everything. And these are the things that we should be more practical. Remember the Nigerian Army was talking about teaching people how to plant more trees and everything. These are the things that we need to do. Not go and be disrupting people's flights.
Yeah, and all that. Anyway, looks like we're out of time. And on that note, that is all we'll take today on The Bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. West Africa time. Yes, we'll be back tomorrow. Apparently, they wanted to take away my voice, but
she survived it.
Yeah, God passed them. So I'll be here tomorrow. By God's grace.
Sorry, she's not like no alive, so she didn't have what that one claimed they had.
Okay. Have a wonderful day.
Now my guy, but
bye.